Welcome back. Today we'll talk about the private test events and what are differences between them and between the shareable test events in Lambda. So in AWS Lambda, the distinction between private test event and shareable test event pertains to who can access and use these test events within the AWS Management Console. So let's talk first about the private test event. So first, let's talk about the access. In terms of the access, the private test events are only visible and accessible to the user who created them. In terms of the use case, they are useful when individual developers are working on a function and want to test this function with specific event data that is not with specific event data that is not relevant to other users for general testing. Security, number 3. So private test events are appropriate for situation where the sorry. So the private test events are appropriate for situation where the event data might contain sensitive information that shouldn't be exposed to other users. So let's talk about the shareable test event. Let's talk about the access first, not the security. Access. So shareable test events are can be accessed and used by any user who has permission to invoke the Lambda function in the AWS Management Console. In terms of the use case, these are beneficial for collaborative environment where multiple developers are working on the same Lambda function and need to test it with common event data. In terms of the consistency, the shareable test events ensure consistency in testing across different users. Let's talk about the key differences. So number 1, I want to talk about the visibility and accessibility. So private test events are restricted to user who created them, while shareable test events can be used by anyone with access to the function or have the right permissions. Number 2. The collaboration. So shareable test events facilitate collaboration, allowing all teams members to test the Lambda function with the same data event. Let's talk about the security consideration. So when using a private test event, sensitive information can be tested without concern for border exposure. With shareable test events, it's important to ensure that no sensitive data is included that shouldn't be widely accessible. Let's talk about the best practices. So first, we want to use the right one, or we use the appropriate one. So you should choose between private and shared test events based on the use case and the team's working practice. There's no always one solution. Sometimes you need shareable tests. Sometimes you need private tests. Manages sensitive data, so you should be careful with sensitive data in test events, especially in shareable ones. Let's talk about documentation. So for shareable test events, document the purpose and the structure of the event data for clarity among team members. So understanding and using these different types of test events can help optimize the testing process for AWS Lambda functions, ensuring both security and collaboration is needed. So that's it for this video. I hope you like my content. If you like my content, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video, and see you guys in future problem.